These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Bruce via Wiser Now. The funds that are moving for us are in place at the banks. They did disseminate the funds from Treasury to have them available for us to go in for exchanges. Our understanding is that everything, as far as we know, is ready. Rates are going up. We did get an update, and the rates are the least of your worries. Don't worry about it. They're gonna be fine. Right, Samson has an article, quote, Baghdad, the exchange rates of the dollar against the dinar rose to unprecedented levels for months, unquote. The dollar is losing its mind and is accelerating upward. Customers of banned banks flock to the parallel market. All right, Claire article, quote, the Baghdad and Erbil stock exchanges closed at a new high in dollar prices, unquote. Another quote, news agency reporter said that the dollar price rose with the closure of the main Al Khifa and Al Haritha stock exchanges in Baghdad to record 153,700 Iraqi dinars against $100, while the prices this morning were 151,650 dinars against $100, unquote. Note the dinar going up in this instance is bad for dinar holders. All right, Mark Z via PDK, it was fairly quiet over the weekend. Finally got a message yesterday from a redemption contact that said, working today and nothing else. Are they preparing for us or just doing stuff for wealth management? I know in some locations they're setting up after construction with cubicles. That I find interesting. I'm sure you guys have seen that all over the news on Facebook that many banks are switching to more wealth management services. All right, Militiaman says the banks need to attract real capital. If they can't do that, they're not going to be able to employ out into the new economic world. The central bank is tightening up. There is a large difference between the official rate and what's on the parallel market. It's because the parallel market is illegal. They're going to curb it and it's going to go away. I think the quickest way for them to do that is to change the value of their exchange rate and move forward into an international world market economy. All right, Frank 26 article, quote, a parliamentary committee is awaiting a meeting with the president of Kurdistan region regarding the oil and gas law, which Sudanese insist on approving, unquote. Frank says the HCL equals a new exchange rate and everything is waiting for the new exchange rate. Sandy Ingram, what is holding up the revalue? Before the IMF will sign off or support a change in the currency's value, Iraq needs more reliable income streams outside of the oil industry. All right, Caparoni says, World Trade Organization, if you're going to buy and sell or import or export merchandise around the world, you have to trade in your currency. That can't happen unless your banking system is in compliance and other banks respect their ability to perform those transactions. Militiaman says we're waiting to see what happens. Ultimately, the goal is 23, 24, 25 budget. We've talked about this is all going to market economy, and Al-Sudani confirms article, quote, the development road project will turn Iraq into a country that is open to the world, unquote. Almost sounds like an announcement. We're going international. The Prime Minister says that. When we see these things coming from the Prime Minister, it's massive. All right, Frank 26, as I said, before they make a grand move, there's probably going to be about 3 more rate changes. It was 1460, then it went to 1320, then it went to 1300. It's been at 1132 in the second set of books. Behind closed doors, contracts, whatever you want to say. These exchange rates are being presented by Central Bank of Iraq as official rates, 1460 to 1320 to 1300 to 1132. I wonder if the next rate change they show you will be 1100 or 1000. That's what I'm looking for. All right, lastly, Mark Z via PDK from Iraq, quote, the crisis of the rise of the dollar returns to the fore and an upcoming parliamentary procedure, unquote. Mark Z says we are starting to see this number, this parallel price of 1132 for the dinar against the dollar. It's not trending there yet, but it is part of what they've been doing the last few days. They were doing this in articles all the time. They list the rate one way, then in the same article it's listed another. The important part is they are trying to get to the parallel rate. I've been told repeatedly that when they do that, they're ready for the big rate change. At least this is progress. This thing is going to take however long it's going to take, whether we like it or not. It's going to happen, guys.